Tonight on the Super Important Show, Japan wants you to get drunk, Snoop wants you to eat breakfast, and we want to teach you about Uranus. I am your host, Justin Diodato. How are you doing? I have two amazing people with me to help me go through all of these things. First up, it's the amazing Heather Jules Booth. How you doing, Heather Jules Booth?
I'm great. I'm so excited to learn about Uranus.
Isn't everybody?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like,
if you're not, what's wrong with you?
Right, exactly. And we have a special guest with us tonight. He's a actor and comedian, Brennan Lowery. How you doing, Brennan?
Hey everyone, doing great. Right as listening to the fire trucks blast outside my window. It's a classic New York evening, right?
So for folks who have not seen Brennan perform live, he has got a joke where he's referred to by a nickname that I won't say it because I don't want to ruin the joke if somebody sees him live doing stand-up. But it's all I ever want to call you. Whenever I introduce you to something, I want to call you by that name, and it takes all the power in my brain not to do it. So I don't want to.
I'm totally fine if you. No, I'm fine if you want. I'm fine to out that because I don't. It's part of my stand-up journey. It's fine.
Okay, yeah. Then if I may, because it was like a Starbucks thing, and the person called you it was Breener.
Yeah, 100%. Breener. Yeah, it's my name's always misspelled, but that's just not even close.
Right.
Wow.
Every time I want to introduce you, I want to call Brennan Lowery, but I don't, because nobody else would get it if they hadn't been there. But anyway, hello. Tell people about you. What's your story? What's going on?
So what's going on? I am busy being a dad and a husband. I'm newlywed this year, April, and I actually have a 2.5-year-old son with my now wife, and that's been super exciting. And then I'm on the Orient Express up in Cortland, New York, at a fabulous theater up there, Cortland Repertory Theater. Highly recommend for any actors that want to audition for their upcoming season. The show got cut short. It was a massive COVID outbreak. I thankfully didn't get COVID, but a lot of my cast members did, and thankfully are all okay now. So the run got cut short. That was a bit of a bummer. I just did a commercial with Bobby Flay for the Food Network, and just busy auditioning and working and teaching and just loving life,
Awesome.
And I feel very blessed and honored to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I love the show. I love both of you. These are two dynamite performers. I'm sure those of you that watch know that. And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
I love Brennan. Brennan, what a wonderful guest that you're like, I'm going to sell these hosts so hard. Thank you.
It's a good way to get rebooked.
Really nice.
It's an excellent way to get rebooked.
Yeah. Also that. Yeah.
It's real.
Let's get into it, guys. We got so much fun stuff today.
We sure do.
World you crazy.
We sure do, everyone.
Heather,
World you crazy.
Make it happen.
Oh, I'm so excited to talk about this story. Listen, y'all, I think a lot of you know one of my top 5 favorite musicals is Sweeney Todd. But that doesn't mean I want this next item, which is a Swedish company that's made plant-based meat that tastes like human flesh. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. The company's name is Oomph, which if that doesn't sound like the intro to a Christopher Guest movie, I'm not sure what does. Yes, yeah. Joy, that's the correct expression. What? Yeah, what? Yeah, already, Michelle. Yeah, Michelle's asking the important question already.
She's so spot on.
So this company, the chat is already like, we have so many questions.
Yeah.
So this company, they developed this meat that tastes like supposedly human flesh. They're calling it a human meat burger. They decided that we needed one more meat-free option on the market. They say it tastes just like human flesh based on extensive research. It is made of a blend, in case anyone's wondered what we all taste like, soy, mushrooms, wheat protein, plant-based fats, and secret spices. It was developed around Halloween last year, sold out of a Stockholm food truck as the scariest plant-based food ever. I mean, on the one hand, I heard that and I was like, why is it in a food truck? And then I was like, I mean, I guess if you're going to commit to the bit. Like, that's the correct bit. The advertisement for it, yep, it says it has scary music, sinister voiceovers, and a disclaimer that no humans were harmed in the making of this burger. And I believe that Dustin has this.
I do have it.
So
Are we ready?
Oh, I'm ready to see if it lives up to what they're promising.
I need to see this.
At home, with her plants and any mouth-watering meat you can imagine.
Very intense.
This Halloween, we bring you the scariest plant-based
That's a pepper.
food ever. Plant-based human meat. So be scared, but relax. 'Cause it's plant-based. The human meat plant-based burger. Do you dare to taste it? Only available this Halloween. 'Cause otherwise it would be creepy.
How?
That's what we got. That's what we got.
So, I read this story and then I immediately opened Google. I was a little nervous about the fact that I Googled plant-based human meat because I was like, uh-oh, what's Google going to think about me now? And all it did was link me to more stories about this. And what was interesting is that each story led me to like how sometimes when it's like a what's the word I want? Like Associated Press type story. It's like the same copy. But I found a lot of different articles thank you, syndicated. I found a lot of different topics where there was like one where it was by a vegan who was like, I don't eat any meat. Meat disgusts me. And I tried to figure out what on earth is this going to taste like and blah, blah, blah. And she's like making comments. None of these articles, despite the fact that they were all written with different copy, clearly written from different perspectives, not one of them brought up the important question that I want to know, which is how do they know it's authentic?
Right.
Nobody in any article has said like, by the way, they know it's authentic because. But apparently the creators were like, no, we can assure you it's authentic. So like, what? What did they do? They're eating corpses. They're obviously eating dead bodies.
They're cannibal books, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brendan, you were going to say something.
So the interesting thing, one of the articles I read, the one where the person was like, I don't eat meat, I'm anti-meat. Yeah. It was interesting because she talked about, she's like, the idea was that it was supposed to sort of make you think about the fact that if you're grossed out by eating meat, you should be grossed out by eating pigs and cows. And I was like, okay, sure, but I don't see that in their ad campaign. I see you putting that on it. I don't see that on the ad campaign. I see just a bunch of wacky Swedish people being like, IKEA, you ready? Don't read the directions. Swedish meatballs.
Don't eat the meatballs. Don't eat the meatballs.
Oh God.
I gotta say, I hadn't seen that ad, and I have to applaud them for leaning in because that was like a true horror movie.
They did lean in.
Yeah, the meat grinder, like that is stellar. But one thing that I find completely unacceptable in a situation like this, where you're pitching something that tastes like humans, you cannot have any of your ingredients be secret something.
Correct.
We need we need 100% transparency about what is in this thing. If it's human tasting, that is unacceptable. Right. No ingredient can be secret or unidentified or mystery.
Yeah.
No, because then everyone's just like, well, that's a person. That's clearly the person.
Secret spices. Yeah. Listen, once again, as the great Stephen Sondheim would say, secret all to do with herb.
So I feel like you guys are both blowing past the thing that I think is important. And I think Julia pointed this out. What is the Venn diagram of people who don't like to eat meat?
Yeah.
But do like to eat human?
Yeah.
Like, it feels like...
There's none.
Feels like there's none. It feels like your target audience is 0 people. That's why they can do all of the selling they need out of a food truck.
Right. And that's the other thing.
Why does this need to happen?
Y'all, you put it in a food truck.
Right. They spent... I would say they probably spent like $100,000 on that trailer. And then they did it out of a food truck. What? Like...
Julia wants the names of all the humans they juiced on the side of the package, like on milk cartons.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wacky. It's so wacky. And it's just the fact that, I don't know, it's like, I don't care what they did. I don't care if they went to science and they were like, give us a corpse. We want to eat it. I don't care. You do you. But just say it. Just be like, yes, we actually, our researchers.
You don't care. You don't care if they were just like, look, we want to make this weird product. We're going to eat some people in the process.
No.
You're down with that?
Yeah, do it. If you're okay with it and you're
For science, you're saying?
science, and you're like, well, we're going to make this product. We want to make sure it's authentic. Let's go ask for a body. Sure.
So I'm assuming there's no world in which you would eat human based on your general not eating meat.
Yeah,
at
no,
all.
I'm not going to eat. No, I'm not going to eat.
Brennan, how about you? Like, assuming no humans were harmed in this process, the person died anyway. Like, and I'm gonna say they died by I'm gonna say they died by murder, but not something that was like intentional. Because if it was disease, you don't want to eat it, right?
Well,
like,
would you want to test it? Would you want to see if diseased? Because now I'm like, but does diseased meat taste different than?
Right, but let's start your first taste. So my question to you, Brennan, is assuming that the person was perfectly healthy and they weren't killed for your purposes, what are the odds of you eating human meat, ignoring the plant-based, just human meat in general?
Now, the thing I think I'd have to ask, I hate to be this guy, but I'd have to ask if in their like dying wishes or their will, they explicitly stated, please let me be made into like a fine delicacy.
Their will just says, eat me.
Yeah, they were super into it. They wanted it to happen. Yeah. They were on board.
I gotta say, I mean, if they're on board and like, yeah, because then you're kind of honoring their last wish. I think that's beautiful. I don't know, like there's something poetic to that. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be made into a burger and chowed on with some like onion rings. Okay, Steve, you got it, buddy. You know, like, I guess so. Because I mean, you know, I don't know. I guess I don't find it much of a differentiation when we talk about, you know, like if you're grossed out by the human meat idea, why not pigs, cows, chickens? Okay. I mean, a little bit of a fair point. We're made of, like a large composition of our bodies are very similar.
But you don't think in terms of like, you don't think there's a danger in you doing that and being like, holy shit, Steve was awesome.
Meat floodgates are open.
Now I'm going to look at everybody thinking like, oh, I wonder how they taste. Like, this is a
great start to a TV show.
Yeah.
There's a danger there.
It would make you wonder. Like, my brain did immediately go to like, okay, but what if it's like, I don't really want to eat diseased meat, but like, what's the difference? Is there a difference in taste? We've probably at some point all in our lives eaten
diseased meat
at some point. Yeah.
In some, and I figure as like lawless as I feel like a lot of the food industry is in terms of like regulations and stuff, I feel like there's a high percentage chance we've all consumed some worker who fell in the grinder or just like stumbled into. I mean, come on. We hear about the slaughterhouse. Yeah. We hear about like the slaughterhouses in Chicago and stuff from the 20s, the 30s. There's no way that like the one finger that got a big story in like a hot dog was the only time that something fell.
Wasn't the only part that ended up. Yeah.
Well, if you're eating meat from the 50s, it's probably not a good call either. But I'm with you. I see where you're going with it.
You don't eat meat. You don't eat meat like fine wines. You don't keep them for 40 years.
Well, I mean, talk to Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
There was something where if you keep it in a pyramid, I saw on one of those weird conspiracy shows that like. There was like if you keep food in a pyramid-shaped object, then it will last forever. It was a total fallacy.
What?
But it was like a weird conspiracy. It's a thing that It's a thing that's on Discovery Channel.
No, I've just never heard of this. This is a new thing I need to research. I'm not only learning about Uranus tonight. I'm learning that there is a fake food pyramid storage. Right?
Yeah.
And if you put anything pyramid shaped in Uranus, it will stay forever.
It will stay fresh forever.
God. Are we ready to move on, or do we have more on our cannibalism story?
Unless that, oomph. Let us know, oomph. We want to know. Tell us how you knew that it was human meat. I want to know, oomph. Also, Julia making a good point. Is this why Nicolas Cage's future tune is Pyramid? Probably.
Yeah, because Nicolas Cage will never decay.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. All right, so then, Brennan, I think we're on to your story then.
Yes, yes. So, in a true twist of the sort of moral and ethical compass that I think a lot of us aspire to, Japan's government is urging youths to consume more alcohol. The tax revenues from the sales of alcohol have dropped from 3% of Japan's government revenue to 2% in the last like decade. So that 1% is, a substantial amount of money. And the amount consumed by the average Japanese person went from 100 liters per year to 75 liters, a decline of 25 liters. It's a lot of liters. First off, just the number in general is shocking.
Right, but nobody knows what that translates into. Nobody knows how much a liter is. Come on, guys. No,
Yeah. Well, hold on. We do 100. It's 4. Right, it's 4. Get 4 liters a gallon. Right, so 25 gallons. Good God, just think about that. Right,
it's a smart water bottle.
So not only have this revenue drop happened, now they are actually spending government money, which they apparently don't have, to do a campaign called "Enjoy Sake." And the whole premise of it is that they're getting people to pitch, how can we reinvigorate like our alcohol consuming scene? How can we get people to like drink more booze to try and boost the government revenues? And I didn't see in the article like what proposals have been pitched. I think it's actually going to end in September. So the proposals, I guess, will be floated throughout the end of the year. But I'm very curious to see how they try and make this budget cap up, because they need more tax revenue. They need people to go out and not stay home and play Minecraft. So,
I mean, if anybody in chat has ideas, if we can get the campaign out of our chat, that would be great.
I'm gonna call up Julia's comment that was really about Nicolas Cage, but let's be real, it applies to this too in New Orleans. I think they can just ask.
Yeah.
Michelle asking, they're trying to boost alcohol consumption. Wow, there it is.
Excellent, excellent.
There you go.
That's why
there's a pun to be found. I can turn on Michelle.
Yeah, absolutely. Be a patriot.
Ooh, Mr. Sasaki, that's pretty good. Be a patriot. Drink for your country.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I'm just so, because I remember too, and I'm pretty sure it was Japan, also has a very serious age problem. Like in terms of their society has a large percentage of over 65-year-olds and a shrinking percentage of like under 65-year-olds. So they also did a campaign a few years ago trying to encourage people to date and procreate, like get out and meet somebody and like make love.
Brennan chat is with you.
Yeah.
Suji in the chat is.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess maybe it's all tied together. Maybe, but what's like the macro? So now I'm starting to like a macro problem. They're not drinking. They're not socializing. They're not dating. What's going on? That's the big, like a big macro question. Like, what are you up to? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing with your free time? That's what I'm saying. Like, what's going on that we don't have anyone going out and dating? We don't have anyone going out and drinking. Like, the numbers plummeting. People are getting. I mean, it's like the people getting older. So it's like the current generation is the problem. Like our generation. Right? And I mean,
so
I know from the times we've been at the Tempest, we do fine. Yeah. We do our job.
That says to me,
in the summer.
That says to me that the cure for this is us to take like 100 of our best bros, send them to Japan, and teach them the way of the bro. Just like every town,
do that to Japan?
Every town gets a Brock, and they like, go there and they teach them how to drink and how to have like anonymous sex that maybe get somebody pregnant. I feel like we have less Brocks. I feel like it's win-win across the board.
There's actually there's a lot to say for that. Like a mission, it's almost like a missionary trip. Oh, excuse the pun.
Wow.
So it's like a missionary. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a missionary trip where you send not like men of the cloth, but you send men of the Delta Chi. You know what I mean? Like send like frat bros to go.
If this were the 80s, this movie would already be being made.
This is a movie.
This would have been fucking greenlit.
Yeah.
Immediately. If this were the 80s. I'm just saying.
100%. And it would be as you're saying it, you're like, oh, it's the 80s. It might be cringy. It's the 80s. It's going to be cringy.
Right.
Yep.
Right. But it'd be like, you guys remember, like, I think it was a movie called like Gung Ho, where it was like Michael Keaton and the like Japanese factory came.
That's the movie I was thinking of.
Right. And they all taught each other like the best parts of each
and then they made it into a really bad TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do that. There's nothing stopping us from doing that right now. Yeah. So somebody get us funding. If there's anybody in the chat who has funding, we'll start making the show right now. I will work on
work on
the deck.
I think it's also funny to me that their whole reason is that they're like, well, because I also read in the article, it's from Financial Times, so I'm gonna get some boring
Right.
business data in there, and they were like, they're like Japan, which runs annual budget deficits, so they're already running constantly a budget deficit, so they need that money.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, wait, how much is this campaign costing? You know what I mean? If you're like losing money, if people aren't drinking, how much money are you spending to try and reinvigorate people drinking? And I don't think a campaign's going to do it. It's not like some kid's going to see a commercial. Because, I mean, look, we all saw the "don't smoke marijuana, you'll get your dad's shotgun and blow your friend's face off" commercial from like the 90s. We all remember that.
Yeah.
The first thing, when I was like 18, the first time someone said, like, you want to smoke some pot, I was like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, first off, my dad didn't have a double barrel shotgun, easily accessible. And secondly, I just like knew that, so I mean, so it's like you're going to see a commercial about like, go drink some more. And if you're already not drinking, you're not like, you know what? That makes me want an Aperol spritz. I don't know what the thought is. It doesn't seem like they thought this out.
I do think it would work. I do think it does work better in the other direction, though, a little bit, to just be like, hey, drinking is fun. Cause actually, no, now that I'm saying, maybe you're right. Maybe it's just like, anytime somebody tells you to do a thing, then
you're like, why?
you want to do it.
Well,
Like,
especially when someone tells you to do a thing and then is like, it's for taxes, because taxes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm immediately going to be like, sure, give me all the most non-alcoholic things possible. Like, yeah. It's just like the second you hear like it's for your taxes. Fuck you guys.
Like, seriously, if you're super anti-government, like if you're big time anti-government, don't believe in what your government's doing, you're going to start like a prohibition league based on this news.
Absolutely.
You're going to be like, oh, I just started an organization where none of us will ever drink again. Screw you.
so can we do that here? Isn't there some sort of like should it, by that logic, then shouldn't we, like when the pandemic happened, shouldn't we have been like, hey, nobody wear masks? Masks are the worst.
Oh.
And then like everybody would have won.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could we like reverse psychology, like everybody, like just in the like the weird places where people
we just lost
like,
out when we told people that masks weren't going to protect them. When we said masks protect your neighbor, no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, that's great.
I disagree with that.
Right.
I'm just saying, I know nobody does.
What do we want to cover anything else, or are we moving on to story number 3?
Drink more sake, help the Japanese.
Yep.
Let's just say
and
that.
you know what? Chase it down with some human plant meat.
That's true. Yeah, you could combine all our stories in one.
Yep.
And be super grossed out.
Actually, true. A pretty serious meal. Here we go.
All right. So story number 3.
Can't wait to see how this ties in.
So, okay. So we've been doing a lot of different product placements in this show lately. Like,
yes, we have.
Like weird stories of things that were invented just basically like for promotion. This one is going to market. This one is this will last forever as long as the audience likes it kind of thing. Snoop Dogg is launching his own cereal called Snoop Loopz, which are essentially Fruit Loops, but with marshmallows in them, making them now Snoop Loopz. What I love about the box, and I don't have a picture of the box, unfortunately. I have some other stuff that I will show you in a minute. It just says more marshmallows on the front, without any qualifier, because this product never existed. So there aren't more marshmallows than before, and there aren't more marshmallows than a specific thing. It just says Snoop Loopz, more marshmallows. But part of the reason I wanted to talk about this,
Dustin, I just need you to.
Yeah.
There's a request in the chat for you to say Snoop Loopz again.
Snoop Loopz?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say Snoop Loopz.
It's in the chat.
I did it.
It's turning into snow. You're saying like Snoop Loopz. It's not really. Yeah, it kind of. I get what Joy's onto. It's like it turned into like Snoop Loopz. Snoop.
I mean, it's Snoop. It's Snoop Loopz with a Z. I'm not your monkey, people. I'm not your monkey. I'm gonna say it again, but I'm not doing it because you guys told me to say Snoop Loopz. I'm just gonna say it. So part of the reason I wanted to talk about this story specifically, because there's nothing like inherently crazy about them, is Snoop Loopz have a mascot, and that's the person who I want to introduce you guys to. They have a mascot by the name of Captain Ace. Captain Ace is on the cover, and Captain Ace, there's a description. So first off, Captain Ace is a blue Siberian Husky. Does not look like a Siberian Husky, if you know what they look like at all. But that's fine. He's a cartoon version of it. He reigns from the Alaskan Territory. Not the proper use of the word reigns, as far as I could tell any definition for that. Where the snowflakes can make an avalanche fall, which means nothing. All of this is the initial part of the description, introducing us to Captain Ace, the leader of the K9 Club that is sort of the big part of this wonderful thing. This is the most coherent part of the description of Captain Ace. But I do want to point out that we establish here that he is from this world. He is from the Alaskan Territory, which, as far as I know, do we still refer to it as that? Or is it?
I mean, that was one of my questions.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to page number 2 about this. Okay, so
Wait, Joy, correct.
what is
Joy
it?
says Captain Ace knows what genuine human tastes like.
Sure he does.
I agree.
So first off,
that face reads that.
what we learned about Captain Ace is he is the Kobe of basketball in Doggyland.
What?
Which now we've established that somewhere in the Alaskan Territory is a place called Doggyland.
What is happening?
What?
Where he and his team, or when he and his team aren't playing hoops, which I feel like if he's the Kobe of basketball in Doggyland, he must be doing it a lot, but don't worry because he's still very busy. He and his team like to go undercover as secret spies with their cool spy gadgets and their super canine abilities to solve mysteries and keep and help those in danger. The way spies do. That is the main job of spies, is to solve mysteries.
I just want to call out Julia saying, I get it, Snoop Dogg. I don't know, Julia. That feels like when you're in an improv set and you're like, I'm going to tie this up real well. And you tie it up and everyone's like, you did? Oh my God, yes. I don't know that I think this is what it's meant to be.
Okay.
But I love it.
Yeah.
So,
I just we've hit that. I don't know what term you want to use, but like we've crossed the Rubicon. Like the weed has done too much to his brain now.
Yeah.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean? Like we've like this whole bio. Let's go on. Sorry, Dustin.
Yeah, no, there's a third page.
Oh my God, what?
Because this isn't the
I knew it,
highest
I knew it.
page.
No.
I'm not gonna go 2 beats, guys. What kind of comedian do you
Right,
think I am?
right.
That I'm gonna go
Touche.
fucking 2 beats?
Fair.
So, page 3. Although Captain Ace and his K9 team get their super strength and power from eating Snoop Loops,
What is
Captain Ace
happening?
uses his hypercharged watch
What?
for bionic strength, speed, vision, and mind powers. Come on. As they go on their mystery adventures, ignoring the whole basketball thing from the beginning and the whole spy thing, they go on their mystery adventures with their hypercharged watch that gives them strength, speed, vision, and mind power, because apparently having super strength from eating Snoop Loops is not enough. Clearly, whoever wrote this was high. Clearly, they didn't look back at it.
No.
They just wrote it.
No, they just wrote.
people got paid probably a lot of money.
I
Yes.
agree.
to
I
write
want to
that
meet the rest of
copy,
this.
and I'm so furious.
Yeah.
I'm so furious that I'm like, you know, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not on this marketing team? Writing about Captain Ace? I'm gonna write the whole rest of the gang right now.
Yeah.
You know what
Right.
I mean? Like Commando Snowball.
Julia says we want to meet the rest of this team, and I agree. Make it happen, Brennan.
Well, I mean, are they all like? Now, here's the thing: is Ace? Are we talking like cards? Is it like Captain Ace and like Commander Spade? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You know, where's the Ace?
I
coming
think
from?
it's up to you.
Yeah, that's for you to decide.
Yeah, true.
I assumed Ace because he was like the best. He was an
Yeah.
ace at it, but
Right.
I like where you're going. I like this Captain Spade, King Club,
Yeah.
or something.
King Club.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
Koopa Club. Let's get Mario Brothers. in
Oh
there.
yeah, there we go.
For the record, the Snoop Loops page is only one page deep. So this is the only member of the K9 team that we get to meet so far. I'm assuming over time doubled it out. But so far, we only have
And
met
so
Captain Ace.
Incredible.
uh,
Incredible.
Mr. Sasaki from the chat brought up something that I also was
Yeah.
going to say, which was, why aren't the marshmallows weed marshmallows?
Because it's for kids.
Kids, okay.
So,
I mean, yeah, I guess like little kids shouldn't be eating weed marshmallows, but like
but
most
adults
people-
should totally be eating
most
weed
people
marshmallows.
that eat cereal, I feel like, are like,
Wait, quick
Adults.
pause. Heather, you said, I guess kids shouldn't be eating weed marshmallows? There's like a hesitance?
You know.
You're unsure?
yeah, the kids weed marshmallows.
Just want to ask. I'm very pro weed, but like,
No, I'm not advocating weed marshmallows for children.
I mean, you were. Okay, for the record, you weren't condoning it either. You were just,
I was
you were
not
ambivalent about it.
But I do think that kids, I don't think of kids eating cereal as much as I think of like adults, like
Eating
18.
cereal
Yeah.
at like 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
You're saying, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
it just seems, it's just, that is so, when I read this, the very first thing I thought was like, God, I am so envious of this man. What can't he do?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, what can't Snoop do? And even if you just take the very baseline, that he's just been a like musician, producer, like smoking ganj all day, every day for the last, now we're pushing like 40 years.
Yeah.
Just that baseline, he already crushed his life. Just that baseline. And now we've got they say the next episode. My God, it's incredible.
Wait.
And
Wait.
What?
I'm on the website. There's also the part that says Ace leads the team on a quest to start your day off the right way with the most important meal, a champion's breakfast for kids and adults. Captain
Yep.
Ace encourages you and everyone to tap into your inner MVP by uplifting and empowering through positivity and gratefulness, the keys to happiness. Join the winning team. We're always stronger together with weed marshmallows.
And
It
where
doesn't
was
say
that-
that part.
That's a great message. Where was the positivity and the gratefulness? We're talking about spy gadgets and like,
Right? Yeah. This
What-
part's
what?
buried on the
What?
website.
Right. There's very little time. Because also, so
that's great.
because I wanted to do thorough research,
Sure.
when I saw that Doggyland was where he was from, I thought, well, maybe there is a Doggyland in Alaska. So I looked it up. There isn't, but Snoop also has a YouTube channel for little kids called Doggyland, where they sing nursery rhymes. They kind of rap nursery rhymes over like real bad 3D. I didn't have this because I felt like we were gonna get like YouTube slapped by playing the music. But here's the thing: in Doggyland, Ace is not there. They have 5 characters, none of which are Ace, that are like rapping and stuff like that. Brennan, I think because you have a small child, you should definitely check it out. Look for Doggyland. They sing songs. They talk about how everybody's different, and that's great. They sing "Wheels on the Bus," all sorts of things that I think,
Of course you do.
you know,
Why not?
that I think you're gonna want to, share with your child.
It's a classic.
I think you should give the viewers a little bit of a heads up that Doggyland can lead you to some interesting Google search results.
Yes,
Right.
I agree. I
Yes.
also thought that. Yep.
I just got to put that out there. Oh, I just found out.
Oh no, Brennan! Brennan, welcome to the
Sorry.
super important show where we have a lot of dubious things that we Google that aren't meant to be dubious, but just are.
Yeah, Julia, I wish I could play
Hey.
one, but it would definitely get like YouTube mad at me every time I play something with like sound like that. I took the chance on the human meat thing because I felt like they probably were not gonna
They're
yell
not
at us,
watching.
but I
Yeah.
feel like Snoop would come after me, and I don't want Snoop to come after me. That's all I have about Snoop Loopz. I just felt like we really needed to know what this is happening, and I think we should all monitor the website so we can find out the other members of the K9
Yeah,
team.
I want to know who else is joining this team.
Yeah, and Brennan, I
And
think
also,
you
is
should
it like
reach
a?
out.
It's like a hybrid like Paw Patrol, Scooby Doo, like Spy Kids like
Right.
world. You know,
Right.
it's like, oh, they're all dogs and they go on mystery adventures and they've got cool gadgets. like,
And
you
it looks like that too. Like the graphics just sort of reminded me of that.
And they have super
yeah,
strength.
yeah, 100%.
They have super strength, but they need more super strength that they get from their watch.
Right from their
Uh,
watch.
I like I like Suji's pitch, the underdog.
The underdog.
That's
Yeah.
gotta be one of the characters. That should for sure be one of the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love the positivity. That's great. And gratefulness. That's an amazing message. Why did I have to read about?
Why did we have
spy
to
gadgets
go
and
through
mysterious-
the
what
spy
the hell?
gadgets stuff?
Because they're teaching you about
Just
Ace.
leave it at that.
About
Guys,
what?
guys,
What are they teaching us about?
Captain Ace has
Ace,
also got
Ace,
his own.
Heather.
Thank
He's
you,
also got
Brennan.
his own
Brennan,
thing
I
going on.
appreciate that you know what I heard, and
Yeah.
I was very confused.
I'm just saying, Captain Ace has his own thing going on, and it doesn't all have to tie back to this serial. We're just learning about him. Okay?
Gotta
True,
watch.
true.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Before we continue, because I always forget to do this, please take a moment, if you're watching, to like and subscribe, or a comment in the bottom or whatever. But yeah, it helps us a ton. If you like and subscribe, it tells us that we're doing a good job, and it tells you about when new shows are happening. So please take a moment, if you can, to like and subscribe. I've said it 3 times now, which is the magic thing that will hopefully make you actually want to do it.
Like and subscribe.
Anything else before we move on to our what the facts?
All right, bring on Uranus.
Okay, that's where we're starting.
Great.
Perfect.
We're
From
starting
Dogland to Uranus.
right. We're starting immediately with Uranus. So for folks who've not seen this before, I will give you a question and 3 statements, one of which is guaranteed to be true. I've been known to occasionally have more than one be true. I will spoil it for today and say at no point in any of these questions are more than one true. Every
Okay.
time, it's just
All
one
right.
thing that is true.
All right.
So we'll start with Uranus. Which statement is true about Uranus? Is it that scientists believe the atmosphere smells like bad farts? Is it
Oof.
that its 2 biggest moons are Fanny and Keister? Or is it that every day the atmosphere opens up and releases hot wind? Brennan, I will come to you first. I know you know a lot about Uranus, so I feel like it's cheating to go to you first. But what do you think?
I think it's A. I bet there's like some sort of chemical composition that it actually does smell like just like bad farts and like rotten eggs and stuff. It's kind of
Okay.
like sulfur or something. I'm very disappointed that it's likely not B. I'm very disappointed that it's likely not B.
You don't know. You don't know what the answer is. You don't know
I
what the
don't
answer
know.
is.
Well, my guess is it's not. I can't.
Okay.
Scientists are too boring. Scientists are too boring to be like, well, let's do it. they're too boring. You know what I mean? Like that would be great.
All right. Well, I mean, Sujata's going B, so she thinks that
Oh,
it
all
could
right.
be Fanny and Keister.
Who wants it to be B?
You're going with A. Heather, what do you think?
What was that?
I'm actually going to go with C, and I'll not C, B.
You're gonna go with B.
I will,
Oh.
and I'll tell you why I'm going to go with B. Because it
All right.
feels like something that scientists studied it in like the 50s, and that feels like when they used the words like Fanny and Keister. Like that's a very 50s sounding like, it's got Fanny and a Keister. So because of that seems like a scientist troll from the 50s.
Okay. We also have Julia saying C.
Julia said C.
And how do you pronounce that other one? Mr. Sasaki?
I have
I'm
been
gonna
saying
go
Mr. Sasaki. I hope
Okay.
that was
Is also
correct.
going with C.
Yep.
And I will give you guys the actual answer. And the actual answer is, in fact, C. Every day the atmosphere opens up and releases hot wind.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's a good
the-
answer.
The poles change very rapidly on
Oh,
Uranus.
wow.
And it causes the atmosphere to basically like buckle a little bit and push out hot wind from into space. So essentially, Uranus farts twice a day,
That's
every
so
day.
fortunate.
That's
like,
incredible. That's incredible.
Yep.
That's incredible. And I've heard them people be like, they said it's Uranus, right? Like the bear
Yeah.
god or like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Nobody.
Sorry, but no.
Nobody calls it
No.
that.
Language changes. It's Uranus.
Question number 2. If you fail your driver's test 3 times in a row, obviously, in Switzerland, what happens? A, you have to go to a therapist to figure out what's wrong with you that you failed it 3 times. You are never allowed to take it again. Or you get a free bike because you have to get around somehow. Heather, I will go to you
Oh
first.
my god.
Again, one of these is true.
I don't think it's A because what I know of Switzerland is like they're pretty chill.
Okay.
Like not the chillest people in the world, but like I don't think that they would be like, you need a therapist. Oh my gosh, I think it could be B, in an effort to like keep people safe. Like if you can't get it right in the third time, you're never going to get it right. You're a menace. Stay off the road. But
Okay.
I also could see it being C, because I could see it being like, well, if you can't handle this car, here's a free bike. But I'm gonna stick with B.
Okay.
See what.
All right.
Yeah.
What do we got? Okay.
Yeah, my thought. Yeah, my thought on that though is that if I was thought C at first, because the Swiss are like a socialist country with great like infrastructure to take care of their people, which envy, color me green. But I think my thought about that, they're too logical and pragmatic, and I think they would think you can't handle a car. Just because a bike's simpler, you probably suck at that too.
Right.
so I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna go on the funky one here and go A.
You're gonna go
And
ahead.
I think
Okay.
they would. I think they would
wow.
think that maybe this guy has like a test neuroses, or like needs to like maybe he chokes on all his exams, or or their. I use a neutral pronoun on all their exams or all their tests or job interviews. Maybe this person has like a crippling phobia of tests.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
I don't know.
All
Yeah,
right.
so social services for the win, but not the kind we thought.
Okay.
I'm gonna go A. I'm gonna go A. Yeah.
All right. Heather, what would you say the general consensus is from the chat?
General consensus seems to be C had the most
C. Okay.
people, but the most popular answer is that everyone wants it to be all of it.
Yes.
But C is the winner right now in the chat.
So we'll give you the actual answer. The actual answer, the only person who got it right was Brennan. It is A.
Wow!
You have to go to a therapist to figure out what's wrong with you.
Wow.
And you can't take the test again until the therapist approves you taking the test.
Wow.
You have to keep going to this therapist until they feel that you are ready to pass the test.
Holy wow.
Yep.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Wow.
A for the win. Yeah, thank you, Topping. Yes, yes. That is also, like I said, I think they're very pragmatic. That like I think it's even
Just
being
like,
like
how
something's
could you
clearly
not
wrong
do
with this
it?
person.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, what if it's a little like condescending? It's like this is a pretty easy test.
Yeah.
Come on, this is not that hard.
God, come on.
Driving.
Yeah, it's kind of simple.
All right. Question number 3. I'm sure you guys both know an awful lot about Cooter Brown. Cooter Brown did what to avoid fighting in the Civil War? Did he shoot off his own butt so he couldn't sit on a horse and therefore he couldn't travel into war? Did he stay drunk through the entire war so that he would never have to fight because he was wasted? Or did he pretend to be a statue the entire time? If one of these things is true, Brennan, I will come to you first. Do you think it's shoot off your butt, get super wasted, or pretend to be a statue?
I feel like, again, there's one that I wish were true. I wish it were that he just pretended to be a statue, and we actually had like a statue somewhere of this guy, and like he was actually still in the statue is like rotting corpses there somewhere. Anyway, that's darker me. And then we make it into a hamburger and eat it. But like I think I'm gonna go A. And I think A just because. Yeah, because I feel like drunk, they just throw him in the drunk tank, whatever that was in the 1860s, and then be like, get on the battlefield, you bum.
Okay.
Got shot off his butt. He could have maybe died from this. You get like a bullet wound in the 1860s. There's not much they could do. You know what I mean? Like he probably maybe he died from shooting his butt. So I'm gonna go A again. A's been good to me.
Okay. I mean, we all know that the Cooter was a good shooter. Everybody knows that he was he was an ace.
That's the old saying, right? It was like Cooter, boy, that Cooter Brown, he could hit the broadside of his own butt.
There goes Uranus.
Heather, what do you got?
I'm going with B.
You're going with B.
I am going with B.
Okay.
Yes.
Why?
Because I very recently heard an expression, so-and-so drunker than Cooter Brown.
Really?
Which sent me to Google because I was like, I don't know what that means. I would like to look it up.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying that I did not read the full history of Cooter Brown, so maybe Cooter Brown got really drunk and did one of these other two things, but because it was like specifically like this person is drunker than Cooter Brown, I'm going with B. Just got drunk.
All right, and Chad is basically
all over the place.
Chad is all over the place?
Yeah, chat's all over the place. We have an A, we have a C, we have a B, we have an Chat's a mix.
Okay. The actual answer, because Heather cheated and did her own research.
I
Stayed
know.
drunk through the
This is
entire
wild.
war.
This literally came up like over the weekend that I was like, I gotta look this up.
Yeah, Cooter Brown apparently lived like right, like I guess sort of right where the on the border where it was like north and south, and he couldn't decide which side he wanted to fight on. He had family that was fighting on both sides, and just said, you know what, I'm just gonna keep drinking nonstop. Brennan, you're right. They should have just been like, stop drinking for a little bit, but basically he convinced both sides that he would be sort of useless in war, so they decided to just keep him from fighting. So if you're ever considering, if we're ever at a point where there's a draftish sort of thing, just stay wasted and maybe it'll work. Probably not now, but if it worked for Cooter, it could work for you. Is all I'm saying.
There's gotta be a book about this guy, and I have to read. I have to. Because what that should be like a case studied by draft dodgers and anti-war people all over the place. Do you know what I mean? Like, are you kidding me? This guy was able to convince me to just be hammered, be sloppy. Why hasn't that been like? Why isn't that?
Yeah,
I don't get why that.
Right.
I don't want to go to work today. That's it.
And again, with a name like Cooter Brown, I'm gonna fucking read it. Like, I'm gonna read the Cooter Brown book. Right?
You better believe it.
Yeah.
Oh man, so good.
All right. Do we want to get into our final segment of the day?
Would you rather?
Would you rather?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've mashed up the two segments. World you rather.
Right.
Would you rather? Would you rather be the first human or the last human? We've been having some good laughs this show. Now it's time to just bring it down.
Yeah.
Get real dark. Brandon, I always go to the guest first. So would you rather be the first human or the last human?
So quick answer. I'm just going to dive it right. Last human, 100%. For this came up very recently, like before I was asked to be on the show. Even I was talking about like, what was it like to be that first human? You had to have lived like 13 years. You know what I mean? Barely. Your life was like absolute terror and misery all the time because everything ate you and killed you. You didn't know what to eat. The fact that you survived is astonishing. Every child you like birthed died. like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, unbelievable you even survived. So kudos to you because you perpetuated the human species. But the last, assuming we don't, here's the thing. Here's the gamble I'm taking. If it's like zombie apocalypse and I get eaten by like zombie humans, bummer, right? Or I get like killed by some invading space aliens or something, bummer. But last, I figure is going to be far enough in the future that technology will be unbelievable, beyond like my wildest imagination and dreams right now. So if that's the case, I want to see that. And I want to see space. I want to be able to, like, hopefully we have like space elevators by that point and go to like the space mall or the moon colony or something. You know what I mean? Like, there's things I figure are going to be true by that point. That, yes, I'm going to be last sad human, but I mean, I'll do everything I can to like document what we achieved, I guess.
Okay.
All right, Dustin, where are you going with this?
I prefer the optimism of first human. Like, granted, the first human's life is, as Brennan's point, miserable. You're constantly being attacked by everything around you. But good, like, my fear is that if you're the last human for like 5 minutes. Like, you're the last human because everything has gone tragically awry. And even if you're alive, what's going to happen going forward is probably not great. You'll either go insane, you'll starve to death, whatever killed everybody else is about to kill. Like, if it is the zombie apocalypse thing, like, I don't want to be just like that one last dude, like, just sort of hunkered up and like just being like, oh, eventually I'm gonna run out of food and eventually these people are gonna eat me, kind of thing. Like, I just think there's like an optimism associated with being the first human because like you created all the other things and like we can look out at it, I guess. Like, being the last human is like cool, but I don't know, it just seems like super depressing. So I'm gonna go with first human.
Oh, All right.
Dustin, for the second week in a row, you and I are agreeing on a would
What?
you rather. Yep.
What?
Weird.
I'm also
I'm
gonna
stunned.
I'm also gonna go for first human. They're both terrible choices. So, I will throw my usual judgment on this question. They're both terrible. But I also think it would be profoundly sad and terrifying, and there's no optimism. There's no potential for optimism. I feel like if you're the last human, you've seen everything come to an end. You're alone. Who knows? You might be alone and sick and injured and just like, it just feels like there's absolutely no hope other than the hope of death. Whereas, yes, the first human you don't know anything. There's terrifying things that are going to happen to you. But there's like that joy of discovery of like, you're the first human. What about the first time you like see an animal or you see a plant and you've never seen it before? And I will choose to hope that the thing will not automatically just be like human attack. But if it did, at least, you know what? I had that joy for a few minutes. So I'm going to go with the there's a little bit of hope in the first human. I feel like there's no hope in the last human. So
There's some assumption there that like, that whatever was like genetically before us is gonna like take care of it, because like first human doesn't just like pop up and then like manages to figure all that shit out like it's a baby, like there is somebody who is taking care of that human. So presumably, like if lions try and eat you, like that thing will take care of you. That's my assumption anyway.
I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like also, you don't know any. I don't know. We feel like we know stuff now, right? We know stuff. I always put it in quotes because like we don't really, we named all the things we think we know. You know what I mean? But I think that at that time, you were not only scared of your surroundings, but you're terrified of like the sun and the moon and a thunderstorm. You know what I mean? Like rainfall is horrifying to you. You're like, what is this? That just seemed. I know
it's
there's
zombie
sadness in
apocalypse
the last
though.
human, but-
So it's zombie apocalypse. So it's whatever killed everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, but if I get to be, but I've always thought, what a cool way to go out if you're like, you got like shotgun shells draped across your chest and hand grenades and 2 guns, and you're just like, all right, let's go. This is for all the marbles. I got to, and it's like, I've always wanted to live a video game fate. I've always wanted to live a video game dream out. And you're just like, let's go, lock and load. I mean, worse ways to go, I figure.
I mean, you think that, but there's a decent chance if you're the last man that all of those shotgun shells are gone and you're back to pointy stick. Because, like, whatever killed all the other people, like, killed them, like, with all those weapons. And they're just like, fuck, I don't know. Like,
right. It's like, it could be robots. It could be just like sentient robots.
Right. And you're just like, I'll throw water on it. I don't know. I don't have a better idea.
Who knows? There might not be water.
And a twist asks, would you know in this scenario, you're the last one? Or would you have the hope of thinking that there are others out there?
No, I think you know that it's it. I think you know that you're the last one. Yeah.
Ooh. What a weight. What a weight.
Julie, that's a good point. What if it's just because we stop procreating and phase out? Yeah?
Well, you know what I would know, though? I would at least know that there's a huge surplus of booze in Japan.
So that is fair. You'd be like, you know what? Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah. Then that's like a handful of remaining 10 people fly to Japan.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I know where we can go rage.
Yeah.
No one's been drinking booze for like 10 years.
Yeah. So this booze has either gone bad or it's aged real well.
Yeah. So now we've drank all of the booze here in the United States.
And that's how you died.
All right, move on to question number 2. Brandon's question.
So.
That's okay. I didn't mean to.
Yeah. No, it's fine. So would you rather verbally count to 1,000,000 or break your arm? And for some context before you answer, so I'm going to try and head off the obvious asks. Verbally counting to 1,000,000 at a pace where everything is like understood and diction matters. You can't do 1 to 35 seconds. It doesn't count. Counting to 1,000,000 would take 11 plus days. So 11 days.
That's it.
And breaking your arm. Yeah, that's it. I know. 11 straight days. And I think the rule would be that you have to do it, like barring must do's, which is like potty breaks and sleep before you go truly insane, but minimal. The minimal amount you count straight. You don't stop.
Yeah, according to nowiknow.com, counting to a million will take 11 days, 13 hours, 46 minutes, and 40 seconds, nonstop.
And I think break your arm, you're not getting it done. Dustin and I talked a little bit about this. You're not getting it done by like a physical therapist. You're getting it done. I said you get it done like in a cage match in like wrestling, and they like take like, the chair, like a chair, it's like a chair from the chair always comes in late game in the wrestling matches, and it's just like smash, and it's full on like shattered arm. So yeah, you're not getting like a pleasant breaking experience.
I do feel like Chad is coming in.
Chad is
strong
coming in
on counting.
strong with counting. Like so far,
oh.
every single person has said.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was supposed to throw it off to someone. Why don't we go to Heather? I like ladies first. I'm from the South.
Yeah.
Ladies. Yeah.
That's 11 days where you can't do anything else. Like, yes, you could poop and pee, but like 11 days. That's a long time.
And that's assuming that you're not taking breaks to sleep and eat.
I assume you cannot. I assume it's like 11
No,
straight.
I think I nix the eating. I think you're getting like an IV fluid. You're not eating. You're not getting a meal. You're not sitting down and getting therapy. No. This is like barely sustenance.
Right. I assume this is like gauntlet style. Joy says 11 days is shorter than it will take to heal your arm. I know this to be true, but I still think I'm gonna go with break your arm because I don't. Julia says just be on a children's show tour. It feels like 11 days of constantly repetitive counting. Maybe I need to broaden my horizons because I'm horrified by the concept of just sitting and counting for 11 days. I can't. I'm going to just do it. Break the arm. It's going to suck. I know it's going to fucking hurt. I know I have to heal. But I think I'm going to go with that.
Okay.
Okay. And Dustin, and I'll say, I'll go last.
Thank you, Joy, for supporting me.
Heather, this is going to blow your mind.
Do we agree again?
We agree again.
Unreal.
What is happening?
I would lose my mind counting to a million. Just the idea of constant, because we were talking a little bit before, and like, because I don't think I could keep track. So not only would it be the like
I thought about this
counting, but you'd be like, wait, was I at 87,435?
And then it's like the anxiety of what happens if you lose your count? What happens if you're not sure you've hit him?
Right.
Sorry, I'm jumping onto your answer.
No, please.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
So I think I would lose my mind.
I do. Yes.
And I feel like I could just work around the broken arm thing, like, because I'm assuming I'm staying home from work. I mean, I already work from home, but I'm assuming that like I would get some help or something along those lines. Joyce in chat, she can tell me. Hopefully, she would help. So I feel like I would lose my mind. Definitely taking the broken arm.
Think about this too, Dustin. That example you gave, I'm at 87,435 or 87,436. You're not even 10% done.
Right.
At 87,400. Just the idea of counting to that. You're not even at the 10% mark at that point, and you've already lost your mind. Like you're not even close. You're not even at the Lord's tithe. You know what I mean? You're not even like sniffing the finish line at 87,000, and you've already cracked. You're done.
Yeah.
You're done. And I, like Heather and Cooter Brown, did a little advanced research. And when I was actually I was might have even preschool. I was quite young. I broke my arm. So I have been there, done that, and I would for sure go with that. I know it sucks. It's awful. The showering with a bag on the cast and all that. It's terrible, but it heals up. But like, you can't come back from the psychosis that would be induced by 15 straight days of like just counting numbers. I I'd start to lose my mind at 500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let
Yes.
alone a million.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand I don't know. Chat, you got to rethink this.
I know. I don't think I've ever
Count
seen
right
a
now.
question where
Yeah.
all three hosts agreed and chat completely
Yeah.
was on the other side. This is like wild. I love it. It's a historic moment in super important shows.
Yes.
Yes.
I also do want
I'm
to point
so
out
proud I'm here.
that before the show, Brendan and I were discussing. He's like, "Well, what if it was just like 1 billion?" And then we looked up how long it took to get to
How
1
long-
million, and we're like, "Well, I mean, it's 1,000 times longer than 1 million."
I looked up 1 billion. It would take 11,500 days to count to
Absolutely
1
not.
billion.
Absolutely not.
No, but that's 30 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no. I
Right.
mean, that's just unreal. That's totally unrealistic. 1 million is realistic, at least. Well, what's funny to me is that before, when we were talking about it a little bit, I assume I think I was like, chat, I was like 1 million. I can get there in an hour. You don't understand.
So many numbers.
It's
So
so
many
many numbers.
So many.
I will
numbers.
tell you the only way I would do this. If you gave me $1 bill for each count, so I ended up with $1 million bills at the end. That's the
Well,
only
that's
way
cool
I'd do
incentive.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah.
still
That's not on the
Right.
table. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, then I'd do it.
Michelle's comment. How many numbers
Yeah,
can
this
there
is
be?
great.
Yeah.
Michelle,
What?
this is that was a great comment.
Sure, that's about it. I can't think of any more numbers than that. All right. Question number 3, because we're already over our
Oh wow, we are.
scheduled time.
It's too much fun.
Yeah. Question number 3.
I blather too much.
No, not at all.
No.
Uh, would you rather have a 2-hour surgery with no anesthesia whatsoever, or for a month, every time you had to go to the bathroom, you had to walk over hot coals? And the assumption here, just so we're clear, is that wherever you are sitting or standing, when you decide you are going to the bathroom, hot coals magically form between you and the bathroom. So whether it's like if you're at work and the bathroom is far away, deal with it. If the bathroom is super close, that's good for you. But wherever it is, when you decide I'm going to the bathroom now, hot coals will form and you have to walk over them for a month to get there, or have somebody open your body without any anesthesia whatsoever and work on it for 2 full hours. Brendan, you seem very upset, so I'm going to come to you first.
Joy is also upset.
I am. This is repulsive. But I gotta go. And this would be hell. This is probably what a version of hell is.
Yeah.
One of the layers you enter. I gotta go. Also, topping a hilarious question. Can I just go to the bathroom on the coals and put them out?
You can try, but that, you gotta have a
yeah.
lot of in you to make that happen.
I think I would have to do the hot coals, because the idea of being like even just a slice of a scalpel on my untreated, like unanesthetized body is truly horrifying. And I'm not even a guy who's like scared of surgery. I've been put under. I've had operations and surgery before. I'm not scared of it, but I am terrified. And for those of you who watched House of the Dragon, episode 1, the new Game of Thrones, I mean, Jesus, God in heaven, right? But like surgery pre-anesthesia, like no. And maybe that's why Cooter Brown didn't choose butt. He probably knew like what surgery was back then. Cooter Brown wasn't going to choose butt because he was like, I shoot my butt, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
I'm going to die. I get shot in my finger, I'm going to die. Like I can't fathom having 2 hours of like feeling my innards roped and rearranged, whatever surgery is. I don't know. I gotta go Coles. It's gonna be awful, and the bottoms of my feet are gonna be wrecked. But it's Coles. Yeah.
I love how this show always makes Joy fucking really mad at me. Sorry. But you're not gonna help me with my broken arm. Okay. So I was talking to my dad about this beforehand, but Heather, I'm gonna help you out here.
Okay.
Okay, because I was talking to my dad about this beforehand. His argument was that your body would eventually shut down during the surgery and you would pass out from the pain, and therefore you would experience it, but you wouldn't experience it for the full 2 hours because your body would basically like block it out by making you pass out. But there's no guarantee there. It could, or it could just keep you up and have you experience the pain the whole time. Now, with that information, I will go to you, Heather.
I'm going to bring up Julia's comment, because Julia this is why we're friends. We are on the same page here, which I was like, I'm going to choose hot coals because I'm pretty sure that I would develop some calluses and I'd stop feeling it after a while. Julia is saying the same thing.
Oh, it's so gross, but smart.
But right? I was like, oh, my feet get pretty callous just like walking. So hot coals would have to. It would suck. It's not going to be fun and your feet will be fucked up, but I do not want to be cut open. Yes, I know that your body probably shuts you down, but I don't care. I don't want that risk. Also, I don't want the sense memory ever of like, even if it was only 10 seconds of being cut open and I knew what it felt. No, absolutely not.
Okay.
No, I will take the hot coals. I will deal with it. I'm fast. I am a good runner, so I will just run.
Okay.
Oh, I hate it.
Cool. All right. So that's
So good.
No good. Yeah, no good.
Oh wait, Dustin, is this going to happen where we're all three in accord again? Is that really about to happen?
I think it is. Yeah. I could not conceive
Real.
of getting cut open. I could not conceive of that happening. I think the hot coals thing would suck. I have a small apartment. I am never that far from the bathroom. I think during the pandemic I managed to stay here, so I think I could probably make it work where I'm really only walking on coals for a split sec, for like a couple of seconds. So I think, if you could control your environment, which is what I think I would try and do, then I would say the hot coals. And yeah, it would be awful, but I think that's the way to go. It seems like chat's generally on board there too. I don't think anybody went
Chat is mostly with
surgery.
I don't think anyone picked surgery.
Okay.
I'm going back to look.
Yeah, that's just horrifying.
No,
That's
I don't
so
think anyone's
scary.
chosen surgery. Nope.
Nah, because I mean, pain on the feet, like it's
Yeah.
horrible. But as soon as you get in the bathroom, they go away.
Wait,
Cool.
and I want to
Right?
bring up.
I mean,
Julia said, "Wet your feet and run fast." I want to know more about this science.
I
does that work?
Do wet feet make it like less? I can Google it after.
Right, I
You
just
don't
feel like
have
it would
to do
just
the
be
work. I will
steam.
Google, but I'm very curious about that comment. So thank you.
wait a minute. Cooter Brown convinced the generals that everywhere he walked was lava,
Wet their
and he
feet
and he therefore he couldn't fight. Oh my gosh!
Yes, makes total
Cooter
Michelle-
Brown.
Michelle says.
Wait,
"Please,
Michelle's right.
excuse
She
me,
chose both
I chose
for-
both.
Yeah.
Julia says, yes, it minimizes the heat. Look at this. We've learned so much in this show.
Right. Now we know in any stressful situation, call Julia. She will tell us the
Truly.
best strategy.
That's true. Yeah.
That about brings us to the end of our show. Brennan.
What a blast this was.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing this. Before we go, where can people find out more about what you got going on?
If you can always follow me on the socials, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Brennan Babble. There, look at that, perfectly timed, Tyron. Thank you. Brennan Babbles, same on all the platforms. Please give me a follow there. Would love to share my stuff on you. Look out for that Bobby Flay commercial on Food Network.
Yeah.
And I am also a lot of Comedy Central's web content. If you just saw that most recent birthing center therapy idea, it's a video on Comedy Central. I'm the first guy you see exploding out of the birthing center's devices. So and throughout the video. So yeah, if you got time to check any of those out, please give me a watch and give me a follow on all the socials. Thanks so much for having me on. This was great. I would love to do this again.
And we'd love to have you back again. Heather, what do you got going on?
I don't think I have anything coming up this week, but we're gonna start gearing up for sketch.
Yep.
We'll be having a sketch show. Thank you, Dustin. Yep, Tuesday 9/13 at the Tank. So a little less than, or like about 2 weeks away. So we'll be gearing up for that. And I'm on a musical improv team called Red Shirts Musical Improv. You can follow us there and follow super important stuff.
Yeah, I meant to bring up the red
That's
shirts
okay.
one.
I took a risk. I didn't know if you had it.
I did have it.
No, I didn't
have,
know.
but I didn't.
But you
look
can
at it.
always follow Red Shirts Musical Improv. We're starting to do live performances again, which is great. So come follow us, and we post silly content. And,
and then that's what you had posted. That's what you had mentioned before. Before I misclicked. I came so close to not misclicking.
it's because we agreed on all the questions.
Yeah.
You can't have that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No.
That about does it. Where we go? That about does it for our show. Thank you so much for watching, Brendan. Thank you so much for being part of the show. We're gonna be off for the next 2 weeks because of the holidays and the show that Heather and I are working on. So we will see you in September, middle of September. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for the likes and subscriptions. And we will see you again real soon.